Check out my most recent addition to the seed collection. Look at how tiny these seeds are. It's crazy. Look at this. These seeds are ridiculously small. You see if you could see inside. Can you see? Whoa! Almost spilled them all over the place. Let's do this again. Okay, well, let me show you the seeds. Can you even see them first? Like, I don't know. It's so small. Instead of saying faith as small as a mustard seed, you should have said a chamomile seed, man. These are so small. It's crazy. Can you see that? You can't even see it. It's so small. Let's see if I can get them in my hand. I opened the package. I was like, yo, that's crazy. They're ridiculous. They're insane. Regardless, very excited for my new chamomile addition to the garden. So let me tell you, I don't know what happened recently, but like just showing up every day and trying to songwrite. Look at this. All of this has been in the past week. From here, all this, all this, all this, all this, all this, all of this, all this, all this, all this. It's insane. It's amazing, actually. Not insane, but it's amazing. All this in the past week. I've been writing like crazy. Now, I don't know what will happen with these songs in the sense of like, I don't know if they'll turn into anything. I don't know. I don't know any. It feels good to get stuff out again and get stuff into my paper and get stuff out of my head. And it's like a muscle. The more you exercise, the easier it is. Get up and go to the gym, creating habit. It's the same thing with this. It's like when you continue to show up, creativity shows up as well. So check this out. I forgot to mention this yesterday. A friend of mine gave me his electric drum kit. I've been wanting one of these things for so long because what's really cool about it is it's MIDI compatible right there. So you can see the MIDI in there. So that means I can essentially assign it as a triggers and like be like, boom, I want this snare sound or this snare type, this technically snare, this tom sound, this hi-hat, and I or somebody can play in a live drum sound while using sounds that I trigger or essentially create inside of my computer. This is really, really cool. I've been wanting one of these things for a really long time and just never pulled the trigger, no pun intended, in buying one. Really cool. He was selling it, asked if I knew anybody that wanted one, and I was like, honestly, like I've been looking for one for a while, like how much do you want for it? And I was like, you know what? I actually do not have the finances to pay for it right now. You got to save money for this baby coming up. So that being said, I got it for free. He was really generous. He said, I see it as an investment in your music career. Pretty cool. That also being said, that puts me in the position now where I am trying to currently figure out a way where I can, I don't even know how to explain it, like essentially create some sort of line switcher for all of my plugs. Meaning, I have that now MIDI drum kit, the MIDI keyboard that I'm getting, the MIDI from this synth over here, 3 MIDI instruments. MIDI is essentially like a computer talking to an instrument kind of thing, versus audio instruments, for example, like a guitar, which I have now my guitar amp that I want to keep mic'd up completely. I have this synthesizer, which also makes analog sounds. So I have those. That's 2. Now a third would be like my microphone. I want to keep that mic'd up always. And essentially, without having to buy a tremendous audio interface where they're all plugged in, all connected to the computer, I want to see if there's some sort of way that I can create some sort of switcher or buy some sort of switcher where, okay, these 2 inputs run into my audio interface. Okay, switch these 2 inputs rather than unplugging all these things. Like that just kills creativity for me. So I'm curious if there's a way to do that. Yo, check this out. I'm so pumped about this. Look at my homemade mayo. I'm pumped about this. It's egg, oil, and a little bit of vinegar or lemon, which I didn't have. So it's, but I tried making it a while ago, it didn't work out, but I put a little cayenne pepper in there, making a spicy mayo. I'm pretty pumped about this. So I want to talk about for a second the importance of not giving up, with the caveat of course, not being obnoxiously annoying. But there was that client a couple weeks ago that I talked about several times where I did video work for them and they required a certain level of excellence, and I wanted to give it to them. It inspired me rather than nitpicking, kind of annoying. But I never really heard back from them, and I reached out a time here. I think I sent another email, not like hey every day, but like, I don't know, once a week, well, maybe once every 2 to 3 weeks, maybe once a month, probably more like maybe like once every 3 weeks I would reach out. And so I decided, let me actually call, because I think I sent the text, and I think I sent 1 text, I think I sent 1 email. Finally just called. Guy picks up after the first ring. He's like, hey, how's it going? Turns out the reason he hasn't answered is because the guy's been on Australia for work. The guy's just got back from Australia and is now flying out to Mexico in like 4 days. Again, flying out to Mexico for work. And will finally be back after a week after that for good for work. So I'm like, okay, here I was thinking he was digging my calls, like ignoring them, but meanwhile he was just busy with work, and finding the balance of like following up without being annoying paid off.